Hey everyone, Carl with Gardening Solutions, and today I'm going to give a quick walkthrough of my gardening area. Now this is not a property tour, this is just the garden area. Property tour is coming up. And my gardening area is defined by these posts. You can see a post here, probably can't see the one out there, but there is one there. And then they run this direction. I've got power and water right here. And then it's kind of a rectangle with a corner cut out. So this corner here is cut out. So this is going to be an archway, an entrance. I got a lot of projects going on right now. We're putting a pool in here probably in the next year or so. So I'm in the middle of reforming my pond. But back to the garden. So there's the other corner. And what it's going to be is where I've just walked and shown the corners. That's going to be fenced in, and there's going to be a big pergola in the middle covering everything, giving it shade, and I'll have all the aquaponics set back up. It's just going to be real nice, just real pretty area. But what I have now is a section of these blue barrels that I've made, and then a couple rows of plant propagation, just using these concrete blocks, and I'll show you a little more detail on that. And then I got the earth boxes out there, and then right behind the garden area, this is where I do the potting. So this is going to be a video coming right up. This is an earth box, but I've been experimenting with the covers. Now this has been on here about a year. So anyways, future video. That's really neat. This is where my potting mix goes. You can see the second potting mix container has been overtaken by some Malabar spinach, and then these are Everglades tomatoes. So I'm okay with that. And then also outside of the garden for now, I've got storage, lots of pots. Everything gets overgrown. I've got a propagation rack over there next to the concrete mixer. But here we are back. Let's focus on the garden. So what I've got going on here now, I've just got 6 earth boxes set up, and I think it's almost all peppers. So these are Cayenne peppers. These plants are a couple years old. I thought they were going to die, so I brought them back to life, and I think they're going to make it. I can't remember the name of this pepper. You know what? I've got a label. Let's look at it. My sister gave me this. Ahi Chili. Now this plant is also 2 years old, but look at it, it just goes crazy. They're medium heat, hotter than a jalapeno, not quite habanero level. I've got a jalapeno here that's, again, it's getting kind of old, but still growing. Older jalapeno here, starting to produce a lot again. And then a young one next to it. Actually, you know what? This is a habanero. Let's see. Yeah, it's got a lot of peppers on it. They're looking good. I'll tell you what, these earth boxes just never fail. Jalapenos. We eat a lot of jalapenos. And then arugula. This stuff's just gone crazy. Best thing on a burger. And then I think these are both jalapenos as well. These are fairly new. And then this guy is a goji berry. This is I've really tried to grow these. This plant's done well. You can see it's got a lot of berries on it. I've been trying to propagate them, but it's been very difficult. The plant almost died. It wasn't really paying attention, and it didn't get much water, but it's coming back good. For those of you wanting to grow goji berries, they don't taste very good. I hear they're really nutritious though. So one thing I've done is I've put this pump out here. So here's the power and water. So I ran the water and I ran power underground right over to here, and I put it within the borders so that when I mow, it's not in the way. And I've got 3 zones set up. 1, 2, and then the third, and then this is just for when I need water right here. This is an artesian well, so there's natural pressure. In fact, if I just turn this on, the pump's not on, remember? So, yeah, plenty of water pressure, but not enough to run sprinklers. So this is acting as a booster pump, just a 1/2 horsepower pump. And then here's the controller. Here's the weeds. Always picking the weeds. I've got it off now. You know what? I'm going to turn it back on. It was supposed to rain. We didn't get any rain. And then I just throw this on there just to keep it dry. So here's the power. Just a power outlet. Everything's just corded so I can unplug it and work on it. So what that does is, again, 3 zones. And I just ran the 1/2 inch. This is drip water pipe. And then I have sprinkler heads. On the earth boxes, I have drip watering. And then on the blue bins, I'll show you that when we get there. It's just drip watering on those. But let's see what's growing here. Let me go around this side first. This is a kind of a variety of stuff. This is a bougainvillea my parents gave me. It was wasn't looking too good. Again, I can't help myself. I have to pull weeds when I see them. Anyways, it's doing pretty good now. I got some banana. These are both huamoas. Those tomatoes there are yellow pears. Can't wait for those to start producing. So I've got Everglades all over the property. The yellow pears are really good, so I want to get those going. And then this is a Pakistani Mulberry. I think I'm going to top it soon. Encourage it to branch out. It's in a big pot. I have 1 Pakistani on the property, and those are just fantastic, so I want to get another one going. There's an avocado there. That's just it's one I grew from seed. Just a variety of stuff. Things I'm getting started for the yard. Got some ginberry, peanut butter plant, angel trumpets. Got a couple of those in here. And these are, what are these? My mind just went blank. Pomegranates. They need to be transplanted. This big guy here, they're really starting to grow. I don't know if anybody's going to recognize this one. It's kratom. It's doing really good. Rubber trees, just a real mix of stuff. Albizia, which is kind of like mimosa. This is a different variety of kratom. It's not doing quite as good. This is a Vietnamese. I got chaya. So this variety is good for pollinators. It flowers a lot, but the leaves don't have a lot of meat on them. And I'll cover the other stuff. I'll walk around that side. Oregano, basil, parsley. Man, I love parsley. Got Italian and curled there. So this is a new one. I'm really happy this is growing. This is Moringa, but the leaves you'll see are a little bigger. Looks a little different, and the trunk gets thicker. Now, most people are familiar with Moringa. It's Moringa oleifera. This is called a stenopetala, and I've got a couple of them going. The seeds were very expensive, so I'm hoping that this does well, and eventually I get seeds from it. Got some katuk here, katuk, however you pronounce it. Red cactus pears. Grew these from seeds. They're full of weeds. That rhymes. Yeah, okay, weed later. Comfrey. Comfrey generally doesn't like the hot sun here. I'm gonna probably end up putting these in the ground, put them in the shade. Trying to grow some red maple. Somebody gave me those. Here I got some datel pepper, arugula, a couple sugar apples. And then we've seen all this, the angel trumpets. All right, row 2, sugarcane. Those are doing good, plus I've got a bunch of new starts. Now this is mimosa. So I've got a couple of them going, but they're so easy to grow, I don't bother really trying to grow them in pots. Got a lot of cranberry hibiscus. And you can see my weeds are just gone crazy trying to keep up with this stuff. Those are Untitled peppers and more yellow pear tomatoes. Now these are, I think they're the same ages as one in those big pots. So this big pot, the little pots here, I guess are really choking them out. I get Malabar spinach everywhere. That stuff just drops seeds everywhere. More cranberry hibiscus, some ornamental ferns, and then some regular Moringa oleifera. This one's interesting. It kind of broke, but it's strong, so it healed. And it's doing well, but I mean, that's just crazy. Crazy angle. Lots of peppers, pineapple, mint, and then this is blue porterweed. I'm starting to grow a lot of this around the property. It's great for attracting pollinators, butterflies. I bought this recently, cherry of the Rio Grande. I was hoping it would do better. It's alive. Spotted bee balm, some dragon fruit. This whole section is loquat. Since we're talking about sections here, the way this is organized is just got a 2x6 or 1x6. So on the ends I got the thicker boards, just a a single concrete block holding that on. I think it's about 4 feet wide total, maybe a little more. And then every 3 blocks there's a divider. And that's just pallet wood. Call it a 1x6, but it's just from pallets. So all these squares are the same size throughout the whole garden. And then I made the rows wide enough to get my mower through. And I have a friend, he's in a wheelchair, plus golf cart. So made it a lot more accessible. So this is all Katuk. Originally I was going to sell a lot of this, but just haven't been getting around to that. Cassava or yucca, cassava, not sure which way you pronounce it. Got some lemongrass, more cassava, more moringa, and then you've seen all that. These are mulberries. Now, none of these are Pakistani, most of them are giant. See, this one's getting tall. It's probably close to 7 feet now. It's really shot up recently. So I need to do something with a lot of these. Mostly giants, a couple everbearing. Here there's some moringa in the middle, and I've got everlasting and Okinawa spinach. Loquat, dragon fruit, some Cuban oregano, some more peppers. Now those are Thai hot peppers. And then this, besides the weeds, again, what I did is I'm experimenting with the blue barrels. Let me get those weeds out of there because that really bugs me. And normally I cut the blue barrels in half. That's what's over there. This is a third, so it's shallower. And then I'll show you what I did with the middle section. And the reason is I wanted to try growing herbs in the middle of these garden areas. Also, I did 2 of them. They're using different soils. Experimenting. This is chaya, so this is the one you would grow more to eat. It grows faster than the other variety, and the leaves are thicker, but it doesn't flower as much. Got some mint. Here's a sea grape. This is one of the plants on my wanted list, so I just got to find a place for it on the property. Now this tree is really neat. I can't remember the official name. It's very long. It wouldn't fit on a label, but it's commonly called the monkey ear tree. It makes a black ear about that big. Looks like an ear That's the seed pod. Somebody gave me these starts, so I got 3 of them. But it's just a gorgeous tree when it gets big. And it's a nitrogen fixer. Not edible, but it's just one of those trees I had to have. This is curry leaf. Very, very fragrant. And you can see it's flowering. And when it makes the bean, the seed, they're about that big, like a marble, maybe a little smaller. And you can use them in cooking as well. Got lots of papaya going on. This is Fakahatchee grass, good chop and drop. And we've seen all this. Okay, last row. This is some Mexican sunflower. These are avocados. I grew them for rootstock, but they're probably viable. The seeds I use come from a friend, and her trees make great avocados, and the seeds for her trees came from family who basically passed the seeds down generation after generation, and they've done really well. So I'm pretty confident it'll actually be a good fruit. Another herb garden, looking a little dried out. Mint, we got some rosemary. What else? It's kind of a mess in there. Got some mangoes here. I try to grow the smaller varieties that grow true from seed. June plum. Mixed results there. Some long end. Canistel. And there is some Barbados cherry and some carambola or star fruit in here as well. And you can't miss that pineapple. This thing's finally grown. Boy, didn't do anything for like a year. It's a Vicks plant. So it's just on my list of wants. So I'm now a little more confident it's going to do well. These are, I call it the Malabar Blackberry. These are a native blackberry. They grow wild around here. It took me forever to get these to actually grow because they're one of those plants that just kind of picks and chooses where they want to grow, but I finally got them going. This is a neem tree, neem oil. We got some elephant ears, more pomegranate, and you've seen the avocados. Look at that, we're about done. Yellow pear tomato, and there's some thyme growing in there. This is a datil pepper. The arugula is growing much faster than the pepper. It's pretty hot, full sun here. This is, I believe, just a jalapeno. Yes, it is, jalapeno. This one I thought was a jalapeno. It's really weird. It tastes like a green bell, the bottom 2/3, and then when you get to the top, it's got heat like a jalapeno. I don't know what it is. They're round. It's about as big as they get. It's a good pepper. Not sure what it is though. I got some Italian parsley in there with it. This is, there's a habanero pepper in there. But the cilantro has just taken over. I'll go around the other side of that. Got some banana peppers with some dill. Looking a little dried out because I had the sprinklers off. And then jalapeno. We got some oregano growing down there. Something's eating this dill. I haven't been using it. Something's eating it down. So yeah, some on the back side of the cilantro. And this pepper's not too terribly happy. Probably because he's getting blocked. So that's the garden. Let's go look at that middle piece of that barrel. Remember I cut that one barrel in thirds? So as an experiment, I'm using it kind of like a raised bed, but call it a ground attached raised bed. And it's right back here. I don't want to give you too much preview of the yard here. There's a lot going on in the yard besides dry. So this is the middle third. So it's just sitting on the ground. You can see I don't want to pick it up too much because stuff will spill out. Okay, so I just put some potting soil in here and put some Thai hot peppers, and they've done really well. I'll give you an example here. Here's some more Thai hot peppers. And another one. See, these two have just constantly looked like they need water. I know it's hard to see with all that green background, but they're wilted. And this one has just stayed happy. So, I wouldn't have expected that. I would have thought this one would have dried out first, but it didn't. See, there's some bugs in there now. Need to spray that with some dish soap. That's all I got for today. Hope you enjoyed the garden tour. I should have a property tour up here within the next few weeks, and that's going to be much longer, probably be done in 2 or 3 parts. All right, thanks for watching.